back, everyone. We still don't have a name for this show. Let us know down in the comments. But I'm joined, as always, with Liam as we wrap up our movie discussions for our bi-weekly talk. How have you been, Liam?
I'm pretty good. How about you?
Busy and a little ill. So I haven't seen as many movies as you've seen as we talked in the background. But I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. So let's we'll just jump straight into it since for a little outside noise, guys, I overslept my alarm for this recording, so my bad, everyone. If I sound a little groggy, that's just the coffee waking me up. All right. So what movie do you want to talk about first? Like, what's the movie that you just talk about?
I guess I'll just get it going. I was not looking forward to seeing Disclosure Day.
Okay. Interesting.
And I didn't think I was going to see it, but then the reviews came out and they were pretty positive, but then people were pretty mixed on it. And then I saw what you thought of it, and I was just kind of like, I'd already decided I was seeing it at that point, and I was praying I would disagree with you. But I do not disagree with you. I do not like that movie very much.
Well, I appreciate you seeing. I'm guessing you watched my my short review, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay. And so
yeah, I'd like to start with that since I think that's the only movie that we both saw.
Okay, yeah, let's start with that and then we'll jump into some of the other ones. All right. So for anyone who hasn't seen my review, I believe I said oh my god, this is about 2 weeks ago. I gotta kind of go back and see what I said. It's hard to, it says a lot if I can't remember what I thought of the movie, right?
Yeah, I think Emily Blunt is kind of the only thing I remember about the movie, because I think she was the only thing I came out thinking positively of.
Yeah, let's see here. Going off some of my old notes. Okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah. Let me gather my thoughts. The coffee's still ringing.
Oh my god.
Okay, so my small review for that one was, I thought the idea had some really strong ideas that Steven Spielberg has done before, and it just didn't pay off at the end. There were some good performances from a couple people for sure, but definitely it did not. This is not Spielberg's best film. It's not his worst film, but it's pretty mediocre for it. That was kind of my small tiny review. What would you say your short review be about it, and then we can go.
I'm just curious, since you said it's not his worst film. I'm just curious, like, what would be?
I would have to see his. Let me hear your thoughts while I look up his catalog really quick, and I can.
Okay, I think the movie is occasionally interesting, but I think it's a huge mess. It does not come together for me at all. It feels simultaneously like too long, but also like I feel like it doesn't give me enough too. Like, I think the moment the movie started, I was pretty worried because it kind of just like throws you into it right in the middle of it. And it doesn't really have a setup. And so I was waiting for the movie to make me care about the people in it, or to personify this like villainous corporation that we're following.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really ever do that. And so I think, even though the movie is too long, that it should have started at an earlier point, following Josh O'Connor. Like, I guess like when he actually like discovers the files, instead of it being like actually like in the middle of it, because it just never really hooked me ever.
Okay, yeah. All right. We can kind of go a little bit plot point by plot point, and kind of, because this movie, like I said, for anyone listening, if you're listening to our discussions, we're going to be kind of talking spoilers a little bit. But yeah, the going over the movie, it's a it's an alien movie. A we're following Daniel, who was a cybersecurity, who was a criminal. He was brought into this organization, right? And he's working with who's the character?
Coleman
Hugo.
Domingo's character.
Hugo, the other head honcho, who's working with the aliens. As we kind of get this like change sequence is the wrong word. What are those? Manhunt kind of films for a bit, for the first half of the movie, right? As they're looking for him. And you're right, it kind of jumps in really into it with, I think the first few minutes is you're just with Daniel trying to get his girlfriend back. And that's the other thing. The girlfriend part was very underutilized, and it's just like, okay, she's there.
Yeah, kind of.
But yeah, I'll get to her in a second. So they, he's trying to hide, right? And they're going back and forth, trying to find him, trying to get this mysterious alien MacGuffin item that I also have issues with. Let's see here. So he's on the run. Then we get the other character, our second main character, our other protagonist of Margaret, played by Emily Blunt, which I felt she did a really, I think she's one of the best parts of this movie.
Yeah, I like, considering how little everyone gets, she somehow comes out of it looking pretty good.
Yes. And as we learned in the film, Daniel and Margaret are one of two halves of this like greater like surprise, right? And I'm like, when I learned, okay, we'll get to that point too, but that one also was like a what?
Yeah.
So at this point, okay, at this point in the movie, when she's starting to get her abilities, I thought more people were gonna get them, right? That's kind of how the trailers portrayed it. I was still on board because things are happening. You're kind of still like, you're getting that mystery, that what's happening, and everything. As Margaret's at the hospital, during the hospital scenes, her boyfriend, husband, I don't remember, her partner, is kind of also freaking out, and it's respectable for him to be freaking out that his partner is kind of like losing it, and like, you just probably stay in the hospital at that point.
Yeah.
Let's see here, but then she's getting these messages because her abilities are empathy, if I'm remembering right, which becomes very overpowered later during just a scene where they're walking away. So I'm still at this point of the movie, I'm still like in it, right? They're still looking for Daniel, and Margaret is trying to find Daniel at this point. I'm still in it. They're like, there's enough towards this part of the film, there's still enough like layering and like puzzle pieces being put down where I'm like, okay, I'm in it. There's even some action sequence is a big word, but there's enough engagement where I'm like, okay, what is going to happen? What is happening? Let me know what makes me want to care about these characters. This is where I'm more on the Margaret side than the Daniel side. But then kind of seeing the alien evidence was like, oh wow. The first one when they're in the woods, that was like, oh, okay, not okay, I'm in it. And I think it lost me. I'm trying to find some of the plots here. Is when Daniel finally gets captured and Martha and Margaret finally meet up for the first time, and when Margaret's powers like kind of become like that overpowered, like if anyone touches her, you'll see a loved one, and you can't really do anything about it. And this is also where I'm like, isn't this organization a place that has been cultivating all this technology, and they have not betrayed for in this situation whatsoever? That's where like really? I'm like, what?
I'm trying to think of the moment you're talking about. I think so. I'm kind of lost to what moment you're thinking on.
So this is where Daniel's is like trapped in the van. Margaret, like with her empathy powers, finds him literally drives up and walks into the van by just everyone around her just lets her walk into the van. And the main villain,
Colin Firth.
Yes.
Character.
His character like lets them like touch hands to, whatever that means to. And then as he has both people right there in his clutches. And then after he goes to, hold her for the first time, he sees his wife and he's like, no, she said, I believe she says like, we have to leave. And he just said like, yeah, you can go. And then his right hand man says like, we got to stop them. I'm like, no, we can't stop them. And I'm like, what? They're right there. It's like none of them have.
That moment, I just like, it's a great reminder that the script of this movie is pretty rough.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, even though I didn't like love the direction in every moment, the script is the biggest culprit.
I think so. Yeah. Because like I said, there's a lot of good pieces because after that you get the whole train sequence, which is like, you get a lot of that, which is like, you got to kind of keep, at this point, you still got to keep some of the audience engaged. And I was like, okay, it was intense, pretty, a little bit cheesy and overboard. No pun intended on that, but it was like, okay, crazy. And it kind of then goes into that lull. And then that's when they kind of all group up to the news station to do the disclosure day. Oh, and during the whole thing, you get the B plot of the girlfriend character, right? I completely forgot about it because it starts with something with an interesting idea, right? Like, how would people react if they knew, right? And in the beginning, I was like, okay, how are they gonna spin this? And they were like I said, there were some good pieces being laid down at that point, but then they did like that alien power stuff where they can get into anyone's body. I'm like, okay, interesting. And then they just never use it again. Really, they use it one more time, but it's like I don't know.
A little aside here. I talked about this movie a little with my brother, and he said that he liked it more than Project Hail Mary, and I think that's fucking insane. But he said something about like the message, and like I don't think the message of this movie is nearly important enough. But also, the only theme of this movie that I think was really of any interest revolved around the girlfriend's faith and like the disclosure's effect on that. I think that movie sounds way more interesting than disclosing aliens, because the disclosure of aliens, that I think Steven Spielberg overestimates how much of a shit people give about aliens existing, because the ending is so over the top. It's not really something that I think would have much of an effect. I think that's something that pops up on my Twitter feed and I go, whoa, that's crazy. And then I scroll on to the next thing.
No, yeah, I think you're right. I can fully agree with that. That finale, like that final act for when they officially disclose everything, it just you could see what they're trying to do, but it just felt underwhelming. And when they were doing all those pan shots to all the people on their phones, on their televisions, and I'm like, yeah, you would get that, but then people just go to another thing, or start saying it's fake or anything. That's kind of how things are these days in modern times, right?
We literally got disclosure of aliens in real life as like a distraction from files that are currently not being disclosed. And no one cared. We stopped talking about it because a more important thing is being hidden.
Yeah, exactly. And this, I think, just taking that into our feelings when it comes to the message of this movie, just like, yeah, like they could have pivoted or even like done both messages if it could have worked, but it just didn't. And it's, I think that's where it fell flat for me, and it just like I think I could have waited for streaming on this one. Definitely.
I could have just not watched it. I never really like there's like moments where I'm like, "Oh, that's a nice bit. That's a nice bit." But it never really sucked me in. And when the ending happened, I was like, "Oh my god, that was like so awful." Like the ending I think was really stupid. Um so for the most part, I just feel kind of like whatever on the movie and then the ending happens.
Hmm. And then yeah, that's kind of what that's it for the
Yeah.
movie. It's like yeah, it's an average movie. It'll get the general audience engaged enough to watch it, which is fine, you know. But it like I said earlier, it's not his worst film. It's not a bad movie. It's just not as engaging as I would like.
Did they at all explain why two people needed these abilities? Or why only two people have these abilities? Or why these two people are the people that got these abilities?
Um
'Cause-
okay, so the answer for the first one is yes, to the second no. So the first one was they needed someone to be able for Daniel, they needed someone to be able to understand their mathematical language. That's why they gave him basically the ability of
yes.
math.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, and they needed another girl who could understand how they communicate with empathy, which we as humans, as we saw in some of the scenes, we're not very empathetic to them. In some of those scenes, we're like, they were like, "Bro, that's crazy." Because like I said, at that point, I was like, "Whoa, what are we gonna get later?" Because if that's what we got during the barn scene, like, what are we gonna see later? And we didn't really get much later. It felt more just like more generic, just UFO shots. Kind of felt really like some of it felt like really bad AI videos. Like you could probably see better ones on TikTok as you scroll. But yeah, it was poor. Like and like I said, and you know, you can kind of forgive the like I said, the alien tool MacGuffin that could be almost anything. Like it could be a weapon, a hider, a mind melder. Like it was everything at this point.
Yeah, it just kind of does whatever the script wants it to do in the moment.
And I'm like, okay, sure. But
it's kind of if you don't explain what it does, it can do anything.
But yeah, do you have any other thoughts on this movie?
I think in my notes I wrote that as a big Coleman Domingo fan, Steven Spielberg should be sentenced to death for having Coleman play the character who only exists to exposit information.
Oh, he's playing you? Yeah, like
fuck you, Steven.
Yeah, because he felt the most human. Because when he was on scene, when his scenes were playing, like it felt smooth, and I'm like, what? I thought we were gonna get a larger scene with him, but we just kind of just got like small snippets, with him, and then we got a little bit when they everyone gathered together for the whole flashback scene, and yeah, they underutilized a lot of people in this one.
Yeah, I have seen Josh O'Connor give a good performance before. He gets so little in this movie, and I did not really like him much at all. And then Colin Firth, love him. I think he did good in this movie, but they needed to give him more. He is just regular villain. Like there's really nothing to him.
No, like he started out good, and like, okay, where is he heading? And he just became a cliche of your bad corporate alien hiding villain. I'm like, okay. And then even then he got less aggressive. Like it was his scene when he was in the mind of the girl. That was like, okay, this guy will do anything. And like I said, when we got to the scene where he's kind of like, no, let him go away, we can't stop him. I'm like, what the fuck happened in less than a day? Like you were like jacking into people's minds one day, and the next day it's like, no, we can't stop them. Okay.
We can't stop them because she looked like my wife for a second.
Okay, I think we've had enough of disclosure day.
Yep.
Okay, and then kind of at final going back to the question you asked me about what I feel is Steven Spielberg's worst film is worst film is not, I can't really say, there's not a lot of bad films he's done. That's the thing. They're either okay or like good, right?
Yeah.
I would say the one that I've seen would either, I would say, is his least, like, would probably be The Adventures of Tintin that he's directed. Like, I think that would be my least favorite out of his catalog filmography.
I have not seen enough of his movies, I think.
Like, I've seen a good amount of these.
I think I've only seen like maybe 10, and it would be between this and Ready Player One.
Yeah, I would say that. I was looking at that too. I would see that, but I remember I watched Adventure in Tintin. I'm like, I was about to say Ready Player One because it's a fun movie, but not really great either. But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll jump in next.
Wait, did you see Toy Story?
I did not. I fell sick.
Okay.
I gotta see that still. And but if you want, you can give a quick review of it.
Yeah, I mean,
I will be watching it.
It will be pretty quick.
Is it worth seeing in theaters? That's that would be my question.
I mean, I suppose I thought it was pretty good, but you know, it's if you're still looking forward to a Toy Story movie in 2026, like it's a Toy Story movie. It's pretty solid. Okay. But like I don't feel like it should exist, but it was a decent time. And I'm curious how they're gonna milk this franchise more with stories of the toys not being wanted by their child because they need to continue doing that, I guess. And it is a little discouraging that both Toy Story 3 and 4 presented like good ending points for this story, but they like have to continue making these, I guess.
Yeah, they did. They did gross over 600 million. So yeah, that is their money cow. I don't blame them. I have a question for you then, because I've been asked this because I've been asked from a couple people who from work who asked me if I've seen it, and I told them I haven't yet. But my answer has always been I enjoy the first three movies as a good trilogy, and I think it would have been fine if they ended it at that. The fourth is still a solid movie, and like you said, it's like it still leads to a good conclusion. But my question to you is, do you think if they would have made like the spin-off is the what I want to say, but like a separate side, you know how Despicable Me split their franchise into their main thing and then the Minions?
Yeah.
Do you think Toy Story should have done that, or do you think they're just too locked into the Toy Story franchise?
Well, it would depend what the spin-off is, I guess. I have a hard time imagining like a Buzz Lightyear spin-off or like a Woody.
Well, they did do a Buzz Lightyear movie.
Like a fake Buzz Lightyear movie that's like the movie that Andy saw.
But
yeah, I don't know. I think 3 was a great ending, and then 4 was like a fine ending, and then 5 is not an ending at all. Like they are making it very blatant that there are going to be more of these movies.
Interesting. Okay.
So, and obviously it's not going to be an ending. These movies,
they make too much money.
Printing money.
Yep.
It's like printing money. It's fucking easy for them. They can just make these movies over and over, despite the fact that they have kind of at their core the same story, and they still make money because idiots like me have to go see it.
Hey man, I have to see it because it gets me the views. I'm not afraid to say that.
But you know, it was a solid time. I feel like the newer installments are missing something that the first 3 movies had.
Okay. Then
And
here's
I think that involves the side characters, like I don't even remember their fucking names. The T-Rex and the dog Slinky fucking thing and the pig, and the potato heads. Some of those actors are dead, so
oh, okay.
I think that's why. But it's kind of, it feels really weird to watch a Toy Story movie where you've got like these new toys and then like these characters that you've been following for like 30 years are just kind of like sitting in the background.
Hmm. Okay.
And then there's a part in the, well, I mean, not a part, it's for the majority of the movie. There's like a side plot where there are these Buzz Lightyear toys that are like an army that uh are trying to find Star Command. And ultimately they're doing that for the entire movie up until the end of the movie where they like meet up with the other toys. And I'm like, damn, you guys focused on this so much and there's really no point to it until the very end of the movie. And so like I feel like their purpose, they're just kind of like slowing the pace down.
Hmm. Okay.
Like you're interrupting the actual plot of the movie so that you can include these guys in the end when they didn't really need to be in the end of the movie even. This could have just been cut out of the movie.
Ooh. Okay. I
Um
look forward to seeing that then. Okay.
but but yeah, I mean it was a good time. It's pretty much what I expected. I They still should have ended after 3, but it's a fine movie.
All right. Well, then we'll let's look forward to Toy Story 6, and I'll give my thoughts when I go see it. It looks like this coming weekend, not this weekend, because it's for anyone listening at the time of this recording, it's going to be 4th of July weekend for us. And I'm guessing a lot of people are going to be. I don't think a lot of people are going to be in the cinema, but I'm going to be busy at home. Um, probably be taking my nieces and nephew because one of them is a huge Minion fan. I'm gonna drag him to see Toy Story 5 because I've been trying to get him to see it before I got sick to go see Toy Story 5, and they said they don't like Toy Story, and I'm like, how can you not like Toy Story? That's my childhood, guys.
And they like Minions.
They love the Minions. That's what my youngest she's literally watching it, the first one right now. But you know, those that can be a discussion for another time. The Minions.
Well, I'm not seeing that.
Oh, okay. I gotta see it. I'll see it first because jumping into the next movie. The biggest one in internet talk for me is Supergirl, and I've gotten a lot of talk on the internet from my small reviews already. Not my big one, which I had a lot to say. But definitely one of their worst second movie. Like, it's literally their second movie into this franchise of this universe, and they dropped the ball real hard. They dropped the ball and slipped and fell on the court. That's how bad the movie was. And I don't know how to explain it. This can kind of transition to my other movie because the general plot of the movie is kind of Supergirl is John Wick because her dog got poisoned, so going after the villain. You got the sidekick character of a kid whose family got murdered, so she wants revenge. So they're on this like buddy cop space adventure. And someone in the comments actually interesting to, it's like True Grit in space but not as good. And I'm like, okay, because as you're going on this venture, which they give them a time frame of 3 days, so when you kind of get these emotional beats, you're supposed to care that these two characters got to know each other so well. So when you get the climactic, you know, they care about each other, it's like you have to believe that they built all that in 3 days. And I'm like, no, I don't care. And the villain, when it comes to like superhero villains, a villain can make or break a movie in a sense because they are the foil, the antagonist, right? And they chose the most generic, like forgettable villain. Like he's he's a good villain in the sense you're like you hate him. He's like a human trafficker. He goes around murdering and kidnapping girls and women to be brides for their men only race. And I'm like, okay, I hate him. But he's like this Mad Max clone where when you see him in the crowd, you can almost forget where he is amongst his goons because he just looks so generic. And I said this to someone. I said, if you want an interesting movie that involves like human trafficking, you can see a better one that came out a few weeks ago with The Furious, because it's almost the exact same thing where in The Furious, you have a father who's going to find his daughter who's been captured into human trafficking. And that movie is 1,000 times better, 100 times better than Supergirl. Because the movie, because when it comes to like the DC superhero genre stuff, they are trying to build something up. And then when you're just watching kind of a one-off movie, like Disclosure Day or the Furious, you kind of are just like in enclosed, right? So when I went to go see The Furious, it's the plot is pretty simple, right? Dad looking for daughter, he's gonna kick ass in this kung fu film, and there is very little to no surprises. The antagonists in this movie, you hate them right from the start, like they are horrible human traffickers. You want them dead, you want them to get their ass beat. And another great thing about it is almost half the movie for The Furious is nothing but well choreographed action sequences. And I was engaged just watching these guys fight each other. Like the last final act of The Furious is I can almost say it's a 20 or 25-minute fight, and it's not boring whatsoever. Like I'm about to go see The Furious again because we want to go take my cousin go see it, and it has almost the exact same generic plot as Supergirl. People, revenge, stop human traffickers, and the Furious does a way better job on it. Like even the emotional draw of The Furious is way better than Supergirl, and that is my rant of the movie. So, do you have questions or anything? Because I just had to get that out.
Not really. I am happy to say though that I think we are finally at the point where I can comfortably say that a studio cannot just like fart out a superhero movie and get like 800 million at the box office, and that is a great thing.
Yes. Also,
no more Venom movies that make 800 million just because it's a superhero movie.
Yes. The other thing that I think, well, that is hurting Supergirl financially during this box office opening is one. I think whoever was in charge of slotting these movies did not do a great job. It was literally up against Toy Story 5 before, and then after it's the Minions. What are parents gonna take their kids to go see? You know, the animated films.
The movie about sex trafficking.
Yeah. Like it is gonna, in my opinion, it is gonna bomb. I don't think it's gonna make its no, and like I said, and the thing is, Supergirl wasn't a bad movie. It just was very mediocre. And we went to go see it with one of our friends who, I don't know if I told you, they don't go to the movies a lot, but this is the movie they decided to go to theaters to go see him, and they were excited for it. And I'm like, okay, I was excited for it too. You know, I want to see a good, you know, Supergirl movie. Like Superman is one of my favorite heroes, so I was hoping for a reasonably good Supergirl, but the end result of mediocrity and poor writing, and then some of the shots and whoever was in charge of the filters just made it look, either some planets just seem like either too yellow or too green. It just it just was off-putting. And boy, whoever was in charge of the score at the end like, you know how some movies or action sequence gets like a very epic score at the end during fight sequences and stuff like that. They chose a horrible, like
Oh,
it,
you mean the needle drop?
the needle drop. Yep. And it was
The
so,
giant world?
yeah, when it happened, because it was starting, I was like, okay, and then it dropped, and I'm like, I literally like, what? I was at that point, I was like, I was done. I was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, the only thing I have seen people talk about with this movie is the needle drop and people who are pissed off because Millie Alcock isn't like right wing.
Yeah, that's the other thing,
And that's
that
kind of it.
that's the thing, you kind of, some people just, a lot of people were hating on her to really hate on this movie before it even came out, and
Yeah.
now they're just proven right, and it's not her fault. That's the thing. It's like it's just the writer's fault for that. It's just poor. I looked into it. This was let me find out who the writer is. This was their first film they wrote for.
Mm.
And they're in charge of the Wonder Woman movie next.
Well, I mean, it's not like they could do much worse than the last Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah, you're right.
The last Wonder Woman movie was fucking horrendous.
Yes. Well, what was it Wonder Woman 20? Oh no, 19.
84.
Yep, 1984. Okay. One day they'll get a female-led superhero film done right. One day. Okay, that was my rant. But if anything, if you like kung fu movies, I would recommend The Furious, dude. That movie was
Okay.
intensely great. Like I said, I'm going to go see it again. That's how good that movie is. Like, I went to go see Obsession a third time because we wanted to share it. Okay, what was some other movies you said you saw? Yeah, I thought those are my main movies that I saw. Like I said, I've been ill, so I haven't been able to get out. And I'm like, I was in that ill state where I can't even watch anything on TV. I was just like, ugh.
I'll do Leviticus next, I guess.
Okay, because yeah, that's a film that you've recommended last time that I saw, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I was planning on going to go see it. I just missed my chance. If it's still in theaters, I might go catch it, depending if what you say is negative or positive. So let me hear your
pretty much
spiel.
only positive.
Ooh, okay.
I'll start with the negative. Just it's not big at all, but the beginning of the movie, there is a moment of sound design that I think is pretty bad. They have like a cloth sound effect from while they're fighting, and listen for this when you're watching so that you can tell me if I'm crazy or not.
Okay.
It sounded very fake, and it sounded exactly like a stock sound effect that I have used in short films in the past.
Okay.
So it is a low budget movie, so maybe they just used that sound effect. But yeah, it took me out of the film for a moment, but it's not that big a deal. I also, one more negative, I also kind of wish it was longer. When the
Ooh.
ending came, I felt like I wanted a bit more, and I was pretty shocked when it ended.
Ooh. Good shock, back shock.
Not even like good or bad. It was just kind of like, whoa, I didn't expect it to end here.
Ooh, okay.
I expected at least a few more minutes to close out the movie. I think the ending and what it is implying is pretty great, but I just wasn't expecting it to end there, and I kind of wanted more runtime to end out the movie. And I guess, sorry, my girlfriend just texted me just a sec. I guess just to set it, I don't imagine a lot of the people watching this will have seen this movie. So it's set in a small religious town, and that drives a lot of the narrative here. As we follow two gay boys. They're, I think, in high school. It's in Australia, so I don't.
Okay,
I don't know what grade they're in.
Let me see if I can find a quick little synopsis of what this movie.
They are surrounded by people that would hate them if they knew what they were, and ultimately do find out that they hate them, because once the town finds out that they are gay, they are basically forced onto conversion therapy.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Interesting. They dive deep into that shit. Damn.
yeah, and the the evil of this movie is conversion therapy, and that was actually a nice surprise for me as someone who like I was interested in the movie when I heard about it, but I didn't really know much of what it was. And ultimately, this conversion therapy is what creates it. It sticks this entity on them that imitates the boys from the
Hmm.
other's perspective. Like it imitates the one that they desire.
Oh, so it does have some
Um,
supernatural elements to this.
yeah, I.
Without
It's
spoiling
like
it. Without spoiling it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I understand.
yeah, yeah,
Can it
yeah.
be spoiled?
Uh, I don't know. I don't think there's like a bunch to spoil, and even if I did spoil certain things, I don't think it would really
Diminish the film.
hinder your experience.
Okay, that can say a lot about a movie where it can still hold on and get people to watch it if you don't. Okay, okay, I like that.
Yeah.
So I will be
Although
trying to
I don't
catch
want to
this one.
spoil the ending. I don't want to spoil the ending
Okay,
because
but it's
that
still like
does
you
kind
still
of.
don't want to. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, if I tell you the ending, then it could maybe affect
Which
your
is fine.
viewing experience.
I think it's one of those things where mm, I think it's kind of I don't know what your rule for spoilers are as far as after seeing a film is, but I think it's all unanimous that you really shouldn't ever really spoil an ending
Yeah, yeah.
like the
I unless the person you're talking to doesn't have plans on seeing that movie, don't spoil it.
okay. So everyone listening,
Which
there you go.
like the Furious, Supergirl, you could have said anything about those movies, and I would not have given a shit. Because I probably will not see them.
Well, you're good.
You know, but it like Leviticus. I think it's got a nice script. It doesn't like blow me away with its technical elements, but it's got this a nice script to go along with its premise. And the film takes an already isolating setting of living in a religious town as a gay person and makes the one person that they feel they can trust and makes them the most dangerous person that they can be around.
Ooh, that
And
is
it does a great job of capturing the feeling of being unsafe as a gay person in a community that doesn't welcome them.
damn. That's strong wording right there.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts.
Okay. I will see if I can find a way to watch this near me before it leaves theaters. But okay. Was there any other films that you saw before we get into some movies that we are planning to see?
Oh fuck, I probably should have thought about that. Yeah, I saw Girls Like Girls. Um, I did it as a double feature with Leviticus, and
What
that was
order? In
nice.
what order? How about that?
We did Girls Like Girls first, and then Leviticus.
Was that the right
Um,
choice? And you
uh, I don't know. I do prefer horror over romance, even though I do like both. But like, I guess it was the right order for me.
okay?
Um, but yeah, I enjoyed Girls Like Girls, but like, it's kind of one of those movies where like, if you've seen like a gay romance movie, you've
You
you've
know what you're
seen
getting.
Girls Like Girls.
Okay.
Like, it's
You're not getting anything
it
special.
centers on a girl who's infatuated with a girl who essentially creates the drama of the film because she's unwilling to accept her sexuality for social reasons. So yeah, I enjoyed it, but like I've totally seen a lot of movies that are like this movie. Um, on more positive notes, the film looks beautiful.
Okay.
It's it's supposed to take place in a rural town in Oregon during the summer of 2006. And it was actually filmed in Canada, but it does capture the setting well, and it does feel like Oregon. Um, and my last note is just like, though I enjoyed it despite my issues with the movie, I am glad that like a young gay person is going to be able to watch this. They're going to think it's the best thing they've ever seen, and it's going to change their life for the better. So
Positive message. Okay.
I think that's ultimately a good thing, despite the fact that this straight guy did not care for the gay movie that much.
Good to know. Good to know. Okay. And any other film before we
Oh
go?
yeah, I don't have notes on it, but for Pride Month they were showing Tu Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar at a theater near me, and I saw it, and it's just such a good time.
What is it called?
Tu Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar. It's like kind of like a road trip movie with some drag queens.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never seen this. Where can I watch? Where to watch? Gotta love the. It's on Netflix and Peacock, so I gotta. Okay.
Yeah, I'm seeing it's on Tubi as well, I think. Did I see that? Wait, was that wrong? What the hell? Yeah, it's on Peacock. Okay.
Okay.
Why is it taking me to the internet? Stop.
All right. If we have nothing else, well, let's jump into some of the movies that are coming up that we have caught our interest. Let's see here. Like I said earlier in the in this episode of where we're discussing, I will be watching Minions and Monsters. One it's for the clicks, and my like I said, my nieces and nephews love that franchise, and they for the most part, they haven't been bad films. There's been a few stinkers as far as plots, but they're pretty okay. So I'm hoping this one's just a fun, goofy, like spin-off film, like some of the others. As as long as I can be there with them, having fun with my nieces and nephews, I'll
Yeah.
give the movie praise because that's all it needs to be—a fun movie for them and enough of an entertaining engager for me where I'm like, okay, I'm just having fun. It can get a little goofy. It's a kids movie. That's my first movie that I'm planning to see next. Trying to see some of the lists coming up before we catch up again. Definitely not seeing Moana, the live action.
Yeah,
As much, trust me, as much as I want clicks, I
you don't want to know.
I don't know if I can bring myself to go see that movie.
Yeah.
Like, because I'll say this now. I liked the animated Moana. It's a fun film. I Disney's live action, like
It's not a good track record.
they are, yeah, and I understand my biggest gripe so far because I've seen only trailers is I know Dwayne Johnson played or voiced Maui in the animated. He did
Oh,
not have to be Maui.
it's weird. It looks so weird.
Like it just looks like him in a wig, and it just doesn't look like Maui. It's just like he looks just green screened or blue screened in real bad, and I'm like, so I don't know if I could bring myself to go see it, and I just so I might catch something this week, something else. Yeah, there's some other things oh, the Odyssey's coming soon.
Yeah.
Definitely seen that. So I think those are the movies. Not a lot of big ones, or there are there are some big ones, but not that are making me willing to drive to go see the movies.
Mm.
So yeah, those are my two. At least before we converse again. The Minions and the Odyssey. Maybe there'll be something on streaming that comes out. Because there are some good streaming movies too. Sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not 100% what all I'm gonna see. Obviously, the Odyssey. Spider-Man's like a month away, so
That's a while.
we'll
Yeah.
talk before then.
No.
Apparently the well, I'm not going to say what theater. That's a bad idea.
No doxing.
There is a theater near me playing Citizen Kane, and I have
Ooh.
not seen that, so I think I'll go see that maybe.
Ooh,
Um,
maybe I'll just watch that on the side then. Where can I watch?
and then I work that day. There's American Psycho playing somewhere near me soon, but I work, so I will not be seeing it. My Neighbor Totoro is playing near me in like a week.
Hey, you can't go bad with some
Might
Ghibli
do that.
movies,
I might do that. It's gonna be only movies that aren't new releases.
which is fine. I think it's fine.
Willy
Sometimes,
Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is near me soon.
which
Um,
one?
with the one from the 70s,
Okay.
but it's on a day I work.
Oof.
All right.
The curses.
Um, oh, my girlfriend is totally gonna make me go see Muppet Treasure Island.
When is that
Wait,
playing?
that's August. That's
Uh,
August. Why is this so far in the future right now? Okay.
well,
Well, I guess
well,
that's all the movies.
yeah.
I'll probably end up seeing something I'm not expecting to see. But yeah.
Hey, yeah, trust me, I was not planning on seeing The Furious in theaters until my brother said, "Let's go." And I'm like, "Okay." And best choice
Mm.
I've ever did. Best and worst choice. Best because it was a fun movie. Worst because when I saw Supergirl, I like saw a better movie literally
Yeah.
3 days before.
Yeah.
And if anyone has an issue with me in the comments, go ahead and go for it. All right. Anything else then before we close out?
Trying to get the comments riled up.
Hey, it's fine. It's fine. How about this? Anyone in the comments,
You
if
get
there's
more
any movies,
comments.
if there's any movies in July that you think we would be interested, you've at this point you've listened to a few, let us know. We'll see. We'll look at the trailers and the synapse and see maybe because look, I don't know why July feels lighter than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, there's not it's kind of just the Odyssey and Spider-Man.
Yeah. Because for me, June
Uh,
and okay, March, April, May, June, May and June were packed. I was like in the theaters almost every week.
yeah.
Okay.
Wait, when wait, I'm trying to God damn it. Okay, nope, that's not July. All right. All right. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's it.
All right. Well, there you go. Let us know, guys, if there's something interesting, or maybe there's something on streaming to pique our interest, and then go from
Yeah.
there. So everyone, thanks again for joining us for this new venture. Like I said, let us know for one a title for this discussion show. We still haven't figured one out, or I haven't been thinking much. I've just been trying to recover, and then let us know what you guys thought. What did you guys think of these films? Did you guys watch them? And yeah, so if you're watching this on YouTube, leave a like and leave a comment. If you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, leave a comment. And Liam, thank you for joining me and for being late. My apologies there. But yeah,
All good.
all right, everyone. Thank you for listening or watching. Until next time.